Hello everyone, it's Zandre Irizarry Pertes here, and now let's continue our discussion. So we have already known the who is Abraham Lincoln. He is the former 16th President of the United States, and today in this video I will be showing to you the annotation of the Gettysburg Address. So this is a speech that was given by Lincoln himself. Okay, so let's go directly to the main point of this speech. Okay, so why did Lincoln spoke? So Abraham Lincoln spoke because there was a big important fight called the Civil War happening in the country. So where and when did it happen? So he spoke in a place called Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where a lot of soldiers had died in the war. This was on November 19, 1863. So what did he said? So Lincoln wanted to honor the soldiers who passed away, so he gave a speech to dedicate a special cemetery for them. So what are the main key points on his speech? So he talked about the country being created about 87 years ago and how it was meant to be a free and an equal place for everyone. So, what's the big idea of his speech? So, he said the country was having a hard time, but they need to keep going to make sure the nation stayed free and equal. And then, what is the ending message of his message? So, he finished by saying that everyone should work hard to make sure that the country stays strong and that the soldiers' sacrifice wasn't in vain. So, in short, Lincoln spoke in Gettysburg to honor the soldiers who died in the Civil War and to remind everyone to keep working towards a country where everyone is free and equal. So, that was the main point of his speech. Okay, now let's come to the annotation. Okay, now let's continue. So, this is the whole speech that Lincoln spoke. Then we're just going to give some definitions of what he meant on the lines that I highlighted, and also with the help of the source that I researched. Okay, so for the first line, the four score and 7 years ago. So he wants to highlight here when the country began and make people feel a connection to its history. So this is like his first, this his opening statement that he want people to be reminded of their country, to make a connection of their history, like how they created their history. And then the second thought here, I mean, the second phrase here is he used this term, our forefathers, to create a link to the people who started the country, underlining the common history of the American people. So the next line that I quoted here is the statement, new nation created in freedom or conceived in liberty, which means that. So they're trying to talk about the important ideas that the United States believes in, like those written in the Declaration of Independence. And the next one that I annotated here is the line, all men are created equal. So this means that the idea of committing to the belief that everyone is equal highlights the basic ideas on which the country was built, focusing on treating everyone equally and respecting individual freedom. Next is the line engage in a great civil war and the line on a great battlefield. So this just simply means that they are describing a really big and serious fight. So it helps show how significant and solemn the situation is. So that's what he means in these lines, engage in a great civil war and on a great battlefield. So the next that line that I quoted was quite a very hard to define for me because I have a very different perception on this line. But as I search it on the internet, So in this line, he means that this recognition makes the soldier's sacrifice more important than any ceremony. So it emphasizes that the soldiers did has a long-lasting impact. Okay, so let's proceed. The next that I quoted here is the line unfinished work. So when he say unfinished work, it means that there's still a lot of effort needed to make sure everyone has freedom and equality. So it shows the struggle for these important ideas is not finished. Because again, they are in the battle, they are in a civil war wherein a lot of things has impacting on them, especially on the people, they're living, and they're not in a very um, normal state of living because of the civil war. And the next line that I annotated is the line, "A new birth of freedom." So in this line, Lincoln is telling people to promise to make sure that the soldiers' sacrifice were worthwhile. He wants the country to have a fresh start with more freedom. So yeah, it simply means that they should not forget the sacrifices that the soldiers in order to have the freedom that they deserve. And he wants the country to have a fresh start more than freedom. So he wants the country to have a new start, have a new beginning, and to have a more um, free nation. And the last line that I quoted has a really deeper meaning that I have understood and based also from what I have researched. So at the end of the line where Lincoln said that government of the people, by the people, for the people should not perish from the earth. So this means that everyone working together to make a decision for the country. He says he's saying it's our job to make sure that the country, based on the freedom and equality, doesn't disappear. Lincoln here is telling us to act and keep alive the ideas the soldiers fought for. So that's it. That's my annotation on the speech of Gettysburg. So that would be all, everyone, and thank you for watching.